The WBA have called for Oleksandr Usyk to face Daniel Dubois in a heavyweight title consolidation clash. Consolidation rather than unification, because these are two versions of the WBA heavyweight title. Usyk being the super champion and Dubois being the regular champion. I know it's all very convoluted and ridiculous with the WBA, but there you go. Now, the WBA say that this, for lack of a better term, obligation, if you want to call it mandatory or not, that's up to you, but this obligation gets priority over the IBF mandatory Filip Hrgovic, and certainly over the WBO mandatory, who I believe is Joe Joyce. So they're really pushing for this Usyk-Dubois fight right now. Now, Frank Warren, who is the promoter of Daniel Dubois and also Tyson Fury, has done an interview where he said that the WBA, he expects, will allow the undisputed unification to take precedent over this consolidation clash with Daniel Dubois. But he started using some negative language, okay? It started creeping in, it has started creeping in there. He said here, if we can get the Usyk fight on. Why is there an if, Mr. Warren? We heard from Usyk's team before Fury fought Chisora, and they had said repeatedly that the deal is done on Usyk's side, and that Frank Warren and Top Rank and Team Usyk and Usyk himself had all been in agreement, and all they were waiting for was the Gypsy King's signature. Now, if that's true, then Tyson Fury needs to hurry up and find his pen and sign for the fight. Is he still the one holding this thing up? I hope that this gets done sooner rather than later, because I would really, ideally like it to be an undisputed clash. Now, unfortunately, boxing is full of politics, it's full of funny business, it's full of people pursuing their own agendas, and these agendas may not give the fans what they want to see all the time. Frank Warren is in a situation where he has 3 heavyweights who are vying for the top spot in the heavyweight division. He's obviously got Tyson Fury, who's WBC champion. He's also got Daniel Dubois, who is WBA regular, and Joe Joyce, who's mandatory for the WBO. Now, could I even go as far as calling it Machiavellian? Maybe that's a push. But let's just entertain the possibility that Frank Warren would rather the belts get fractured sooner rather than later, so he can put his guy, Dubois, in there for one of the full belts, right? The WBA super belt. His guy, Joe Joyce, in with the WBO. Now, the question is whether he's willing to wait for the undisputed to happen first and then have his guys fight for those belts, or whether from a strategic perspective, he would rather Dubois go in there against Usyk before Fury fights Usyk, because he's getting 2 bites at the cherry, basically, in terms of having his fighters attempt to beat Oleksandr Usyk. You see what I'm saying? Because if Fury goes in there, we don't know if there's going to be a rematch clause or anything like that. Whether there is or there isn't. Obviously, Bob Arum in the past has spoken about how he doesn't like rematch clauses and, blamed Eddie Hearn for all that kind of stuff. But we know what that's all about. So, and even with a rematch clause in the contract, this would give Frank Warren 3 bites at the cherry. Yeah? Let's say he puts Dubois in with Usyk first. If Dubois is unsuccessful, he can then put Fury in with him twice. And if he really wanted to push it, he could put Dubois in with Usyk, then Joe Joyce, and then Fury. You see, putting all these barriers to entry. I hope that isn't going to happen. Okay, but when I hear Frank Warren say, if we can't get the Usyk fight on, he went on straight away to say, which I very much doubt, because I think we will get it on, and Usyk will have to defend it against Daniel. But if the deal was already there, why are you even bringing the word if into the equation? Why are you introducing some doubt that this Usyk fight against Fury for undisputed is going to happen next? I don't like when I hear Frank Warren saying stuff like that. So again, if what Oleksandr Usyk's team have been saying is true, and I don't really have any cause to doubt them at this stage. If you look at Usyk's track record throughout his career, he's been a very straight shooter. This hasn't been a guy who's tried to freeze people out or play politics or win popularity contests and be more interested in that than actually fighting people. No, Usyk's just gone straight for the jugular all the time. Whoever the top guy is, I want him and I want him now. That's been Usyk's attitude, obviously from the amateurs and the WSB all the way through his pro career. So I don't have any reason to doubt him, to be honest. And therefore, if it is true that they're just waiting on the Gypsy King, then hashtag find your pen, Mr. Fury. Sign for the fight. Let's get it on, as the late Mills Lane would say. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about the pressure that is being applied now to Oleksandr Usyk by the sanctioning bodies to fight his mandatories. Will he be able to have this undisputed unification with Fury before he has to face the mandatory challenges? Let me know what you think in the comment section below.